There's a book sitting in a library in Connecticut that nobody on earth can read, not because it's lost, not because it's locked away. It's sitting right there, photographed, scanned, posted online for anyone to study. It's written in a language that doesn't match any known language, living or dead. It's illustrated with plants that don't exist in nature. And it comes with a star chart. For stars nobody can find. Cryptographers who cracked Nazi codes in World War II looked at this book and gave up. Modern AI has looked at it and come back with nothing solid. Some people think it's the most brilliant hoax ever pulled off. Others think it's a message we were never meant to lose the key to. Get comfortable. This one doesn't have an ending yet. It's called the Voynich Manuscript, named after the antique book dealer who bought it in 1912. Wilfred Voynich, and Polish book dealer working in Europe. He found it in a collection belonging to Jesuit priests in Italy, tucked away like it had been waiting. The book itself is small, about the size of a paperback, roughly 240 pages, though a few are missing, handwritten, cover to cover, in flowing, looping letters that flow left to right, page after page, with no obvious breaks for chapters or sections, just calm, continuous, unreadable text. Carbon dating on the vellum, the treated animal skin the pages are made from, puts its creation somewhere between 1404 and 1438, early 1400. That's not a guess anymore. It's physical, chemical dating on the material itself. Whatever this book is, it's genuinely 600 years old, not a modern fake trying to look old. And it's not blank filler text. It's organized, structured. It follows patterns real languages follow. Some letters show up constantly, some rarely, some cluster together the way vowels and consonants do in actual speech. Whoever made this made it with rules. Here's where it gets stranger. The book isn't just text. It's densely illustrated, and the illustrations sort themselves into sections almost like chapters of a textbook. The first big section is botanical. Page after page of plants, drawn in careful detail, roots and leaves and flowers labeled in that same unreadable script. Problem is, botanists have gone through every drawing, and the plants don't match. Not exactly. Some come close to real medieval herbs, but with extra leaves, wrong root structures, flowers that don't belong to that plant. It's like someone was drawing from memory of a garden that never existed, or combining 2 or 3 real plants into one. Then there's an astronomical section. Circular diagrams that look like star charts or zodiac wheels, with tiny figures standing in the rings and labels in the same script, running around the edges like clock numbers. Some of it maps loosely to real constellations. Some of it maps to nothing anyone has identified. And then, strangest of all, a section researchers nicknamed the balneological section. Dozens of small nude figures drawn simply, standing or sitting in pools and tubes connected by tangled green pipes, like some kind of bathhouse or a plumbing diagram for something biological. Nobody agrees on what it's depicting. Alchemy, anatomy, some kind of proto-scientific system for the body. Take your pick, because no one has landed on a consensus. Naturally, this drove cryptographers insane. In a good way at first. During World War I and II, some of the sharpest code-breaking minds in the world got a look at this thing. William Friedman, one of the founders of modern American cryptanalysis, the man who helped break Japanese diplomatic codes, spent years of his spare time on the Voynich Manuscript. He built a whole study group around it, and he never cracked it. Since then, it's been run through nearly everything.
Statistical language analysis.
Comparison against over 400 known languages and ciphers. In the last decade, machine learning models, the same kind of pattern recognition AI that translates real languages today, have been pointed at the Voynich script directly. A few of those AI attempts made headlines claiming partial success, suggesting it might be an early form of Hebrew or a heavily abbreviated medical Latin, or a constructed language built from multiple real ones. Every one of those claims got walked back or heavily disputed by other linguists within months. The translations didn't hold up when tested further. The meaning they produced was too flexible, too easy to bend toward whatever the researcher expected to find. 600 years, some of the best human minds in history, and now some of the best artificial ones. Still nothing that other experts fully agree on. Here's the theory that keeps some researchers up at night for a completely different reason. What if there's nothing to solve? There's a real documented phenomenon called glossolalia, meaningless language-like sound or script that follows patterns without carrying, and there's a well-known medieval scam, selling wealthy buyers fake ancient texts or relics for a fortune. One theory says a 15th century con artist manufactured this book, page by careful page, using a simple method, a table or grill that generates convincing-looking words, specifically to sell it to a rich buyer as a mysterious ancient text. Books like this did sell for real money to real nobility on exactly that premise. If that's true, every plant, every star chart, every bathing figure was drawn to look meaningful without meaning anything at all. A very patient, very talented hoax. 600 years old, still working. But here's the problem with that theory. Doing this for 240 pages with statistically consistent letter patterns that mimic real language structure that closely, by hand, without getting sloppy, without getting caught, without slipping into obvious nonsense, would have taken an enormous, strange kind of dedication for a scam nobody was around to see finished. Honestly, I don't think it's a hoax. Not because I have proof, nobody does, but because hoaxes usually cut corners once nobody's watching. This one doesn't cut a single corner for 240 pages in a script consistent enough that modern AI still tries and fails to read it as real language. Whatever this book is, a lost language, a coded medical text, a private system one person built to organize their own knowledge, somebody in the early 1400s sat down and decided this was worth doing, completely, all the way through, for reasons we will probably never recover. And that's the part that gets me. Not that it's unreadable, that it was so clearly meant to be read by somebody. The Voynich Manuscript is still sitting in Yale's Bayneka Library right now, fully digitized, free for anyone to study page by page. People still try to crack it. Every year, someone claims they finally did. Every year, it doesn't hold up. If you like sitting with a mystery instead of getting a clean answer, you're going to like this channel. I'll be back with the next one. Sleep well.